takes it away.
It is a bright and shiny day in the nation's capital city of Abuja as we welcome you to another edition of your favorite sports show, Sports Hour, being live to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria Television. Good morning and a happy Children's Day to our children out there. I am Olushola Olujide.
I am Olawale Ayeni, and it's great to have you join us today, where we'll have a lot of interesting sports story lineup for you. Talking about the Super Eagles, they'll be playing Cameroon a friendly match in June, and also we have news that is coming in from is it England or Turkey, where Villarreal defeated Manchester United to actually lift the Europa Cup title, which is the major title in the club history. But for now, we'll take a break, and when we come back, then we'll kickstart the show in earnest.
You're welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the Sports Hour Show. You can follow us on our social media handles, and you can also call in. The handles and the phone numbers are on your screen at the moment. So let us now start with the very first story for today, which has to do with the Super Eagles international friendly, and where we are going to see Ahmed Musa, of course, leading the pack, being the captain of the national team, and against Cameroon in Vienna, Australia. That's going to be a friendly ahead of the two friendlies ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
Of course, no doubt about it. We know that some new players actually came in to actually make that list, which Ganetro released during
revised list.
Yes, during this week. We know that the Nigerian Super Eagles and the Dominican Lions of Cameroon, they are
rivals.
They are perennial rivals and foes. Yes. Every time they get to play, it's like a clash of the Titans. Both countries want to actually fight for bragging rights. We know that Nigeria have actually lost 3 AFCON finals against Cameroon, and is not actually being good for us. And
the last one
was
in Lagos.
In Lagos, but recently the Super Eagles have had this upper hand against Indomitable Lions. Do you remember we were qualifying for the Russia 2018? We defeated them here in Nigeria. We went there to play a draw. Also in the AFCON 2019, we defeated them at the quarter-final stage for us to beat.
I can remember the game, the Okocha set as well too. 20. I can't remember the particular.
2004 or 5. 2004.
Nations Cup. Yes, I remember that very well.
That is free kick.
That's free kick. That was still rings my memory very well. So like I said earlier, we started getting the upper edge against the Cameroonians. But of course, these guys will come out. Now the Cameroon team, they don't have that kind of name.
Factor, yes.
When you add the Samuel Eto'o, when you add the big players, then. But I'm not to diminish the fact that
Alex Song.
Yes, but it's not to diminish the fact that they don't have good players right now. But I think Nigeria has better players than the Cameroonians at the moment.
Of course,
at least based on paper.
Based on paper we have.
But when they get to the pitch, we'll know which is a better team between Cameroon and Nigeria. And the match will take place in Vienna.
That's Australia.
Australia is a neutral ground. There's no home away. There's no home advantage.
There's no home advantage for any
advantage.
but for me, it's actually good so that we get to experiment other players. We know that the AFCON qualifiers is to be starting in September, just few
World Cup
months from now. Sorry, World Cup qualifiers. We have qualified for the AFCON already, but the World Cup qualifiers will be starting in September, and we'll be playing some countries in Africa, most especially countries in the Central Africa, which we know that Cameroon is part of countries in the Central Africa. So it's a good test for the Super Eagles ahead of the qualifiers. The major thing there is that new players are in that particular squad. That is actually good, so that we can able to try out new players.
But should you be trying new players right now?
Of course, at this point in time, we should be trying new players because this is the friendly match. It's not a competitive game. That is where we need to find players that can able to replace the players who are in the national team in case maybe they are injured or that
but
club don't want to release them.
One player I would love that it should be in the starting lineup is this Enyimba player, the playmaker.
Okay. Anayo
Uwala is a player that I really want. This is a potential, and this guy has. I'm sure if he was in a foreign club now, he'll be in the starting lineup for the Super Eagles. Let's forget the fact that we have Aribo. Let's forget the fact we have Iwobi.
But they're not really a playmaker compared to Anayo.
And Anayo he plays the Nigerian way because he started his career
from like a JJ Okocha.
Yes, who started that? Aribo and Co. They are playing. They have
the Scottish league.
Yeah, they have this Scottish kind of foreign playing. I'm not saying that playing in the foreign way is not good, but every club, every team has its own peculiarities. Anayo fits into Nigerian peculiarities.
We saw him play at Lagos against Lesotho. Even though he came into the tail end of the game, but he actually played well. And the crowd,
he moved the ball. The way he moved the ball is so. It reminds us of players like you said, JJ Okocha. He might not be the dribbling type, but his ball control, his movement is superb.
We saw what he did for Yimba. He was the one that, for me, single-handedly qualified the Yimba to the quarterfinal stage before they lost woefully against the pyramids of Egypt. So for me, it's going to be good for us to see Agnetro, making him just putting him on the starting lineup.
He making the point man. I mean, the main man in the middle. Of course, you'll be backed up with Indidi and
of course
Etabo behind him to support him as per defensive role, while he has a freedom to roam around anywhere he wants to go to. This is the kind of player that should be given the freedom, not restricted. So this is where you should play, but play anywhere you want to go to. You are free roll, because that boy can cause damage. And I understand that some European clubs are trying to buy him.
Of course.
I think the last one I heard was about £1 million for him.
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yes.
Okay, for him, which I think is still small, but our Nigerian clubs will jump for that kind of money because
of course for me
$1 million is about 400 million naira. That's
for me, I feel we should just rally around our own. If it's an English player, you see the English press, praising him to the high heavens, getting to ensure that they boost his image when it comes to getting clubs to come and buy him. So I feel at this point in time,
I think his PR team should work and overdrive, overdrive and push his brand. But this is a brand that
is a brand, no doubt about it. It is a brand, no doubt about it. For our viewers, the big question today is between Manchester City and Chelsea. Who will win the UEFA Champions League? You can actually call in the show this morning, and also you can send your comment on our social media platform.
Let's get your thought on that's going to be the biggest match this weekend.
Of course,
Manchester City, who have never been to the European the final before, and Chelsea, who have been there twice now. Will they make it? And they've won it once. So let's get your thoughts, your reactions, based. So you can call in and let us get what you want to say about. So still talking about football. Now let's still talking about the Nigeria League as well too, where Kano Pillars, of course, yesterday have climbed to the top of the table of the Nigerian Professional Football League, and to regain their top spots from, shall I say, Nasarawa United, where they're just keeping the space for.
Kwara United also were in the mix at some clubs.
Where those ones just keeping the space for the big boys to come in.
Of course.
And then take over.
Of course, it was an impressive performance from Kano Pillars, no doubt about it, because we know Nasarawa United has been in their best form this season. It was even Kano Pillars that ended their unbeaten run. Nasarawa United in the first leg, and now in the second leg, they actually get to defeat them in that particular one. So they have done like a double on Nasarawa United. And
Nasarawa United was a club that was battling relegation last season.
Of course, last season.
But luckily for them, because of the fact that the league was inconclusive, they escaped being relegated. If not, they'll be playing in NLL right now. But I'm so glad at the fact that they'll be able to push themselves up to be in the top 4 of the league
so far.
And
after match day 23.
Yes, I don't see them dropping down below 6th position.
Of course,
because
at this point
they are doing very well.
Of course, at this point, every coach would want to try and win their home matches if possible. Then when they go away, just get a draw, ensure that you don't lose, so that you can able to get some point on your way home at that particular time. But other matches decided yesterday in the MPFL saw a certain Ayimba won the Battle of the Elephant. Ayimba defeated Wiki Tories by 2-1 at the Bauchi Stadium. Kwara United also were ahead.
The Ayimba were also defeating Wiki Tories for the second time.
For the second time.
Wiki Tories have now lost their 4th straight league match this season in the APFL. Of course, I think they've lost, but this was the
that for now, there's crisis in Wiki Tories due to the fact that their coach resigned. Talking about Usman.
Why did the coach resign? Because he felt he was being handicapped in the team.
No. Of course, when they saw that they are having a disappointing performance in the season, the club management actually brought up I think it was a 5-man team or a 7-man team, just a technical team to assist the coach. So due to the fact that they were not getting good results. So he felt maybe he will not be given the free hand to operate.
Because by the time a club starts interfering in the coaching processes, the coach will feel handicapped that means my inputs are no longer needed. But then sometimes this goes beyond just the coach.
It's just to guide the coach and ensure that they get to win.
You're not giving the coach the free hand too. So why did you not employ him?
Of course, he's still the main man to do all the job. He still really wants to sit down at the bench and give instructions.
But we know
players.
how Nigeria League is. Once you give that committee or the board or whatever,
they get to dictate to the coach. Of course, we know that the likes of Usman is a very, very experienced coach. He has coached Ayimba.
He has gone everywhere. So he knows his onions.
Of course, he knows the MPFL in and out. But
so once you allow them to have that kind of board or committee to guide him, those ones we definitely want to interfere in his coaching, in his selection.
The selection of players. And
so, of course, I felt very happy for him to have thrown the tour.
Course.
Please, he gave me a contract. My job is to do this. Let me do this and don't interfere. But then he has left. And Wiki Tories, should I say that they're in a crisis right now?
Of course, they just have to win their matches. If not, relegation is not far from them. Also, other matches saw Kwara United. They were held at home by visiting Rivers United 1-1. That game ended yesterday. There were rumors that the fans were, getting to mop the Kwara United chairman due to their poor performance and that particular one. Dankada FC cruised past the FC Mumbai 2-1 at the next of Champion Stadium in Uyo, while Sunshine Stars shares the spoil against MFM. That match ended 0-0. Also, Warri Wolf devoured Lobby Stars of Makurdi 1-0 in Delta at the Orozo Polytechnic Stadium, which also moved them 16th place in the MPFL log. Other matches that will be decided today, we'll see Heartland Lockhorns against Plateau United, and also that will be at the Okigwe Township Stadium in Imo, as Abia Warriors also are set to lay ambush against Aqua United.
And Aqua United, they are third on the table at the moment. So how are they performing poorly for the fans to want to mob the...
That's Kwara United. You mean Kwara
United. They are third on the table. Were they expecting Kwara United to be top? Or for them to be at the third position shows that they are lucky to be there.
Of course, they've been playing well this season, no doubt about it.
They are lucky to be there.
Getting they defeated a game by, you could remember, in that particular match.
Just like saying Sheffield United in Premiership now to be second position or to be third. You will know that it is a bit of luck that has taken them that far. So for the fans to have been trying to mob the players or mob the coaching crew for
it was a chairman.
Or the chairman for the fact that the team
didn't perform well.
Played a 0-0 draw with MFM. Meanwhile, they are third on the table.
Of course, fans want.
They are being overambitious.
If they want
No. They should grow. They should grow small. They should allow the big boys. He can rub shoulders with the big boys in the league.
Of course,
yes.
Even Kwara United was relegation bound last season. It was just that the league.
So why should they be thinking of trying to mob their chairman?
Nigeria, they just want to win at all costs. In the MPFL league, you just have to win your home matches.
There's some
you have
clubs.
to get the maximum 3
There's some
points.
clubs
But the
that-
certain Rivers United, they are very, very good side. I didn't actually expect those fans to actually
There's some clubs that they don't even dream. They are not even dreaming to win a league. All what they don't just dream is to be in the league. In the league, and that's all. Whether they play CAF Champions League or CAF Confederations, they don't care. But let us remain in the league. So for Kwara United to be on it, that was
I
spinning me.
understand.
For it to be thought, where you know that you can hardly get to this position. Your position is just basically mid-table downwards.
Of course, but you know every point in the MPFL league is very, very important, because that point can keep you in the league, and 1 point can actually keep you out of the league. So they need to fight for every point. So at this point in
now,
time,
right now, as it stands now, they are taking the qualifying for the Confederations Cup right now.
Of course,
so
because
if
with the kind of rebranding Kwara United have experienced a whole lot of rebranding this season. They have been playing well.
And they brought in
of course, Dele Ayunba came back to the fold. The likes of this coach is actually leading them enough good technical backing. So I feel maybe they want to actually qualify for the continent.
They are aiming too high. They should be careful.
They should not be too ambitious.
They should not be too ambitious.
One thing that is very interesting in the MPFL, you might be on top of the table this week, and the next week maybe you see yourself in the 10th position. So
because
at this point
it's a point difference among all the teams. A point difference. Okay, let me read out the Kano Pillars that they have 44 points. Then the second position is Akwa United. They have 41 points. Kwara United, they are third. They have 40 points. Rivers United, they are fourth. They have 40 points as well too. Just good difference separating Kwara United and Rivers United. Then on the fifth is National United. They have 39 points. Just a
National United that was topping the table
last last week.
Last week, and now they are in fifth position. You can imagine.
So and it goes down even now for the last four now. Katsina United, they have 22 points. Sunshine Stars, they have 21 points. Ifeanyi, they have 20 points. Adama United, who are last on the table, they have 16 points. Adama United can still qualify. They can still escape the relegation zone
if they continue to play well. Because I didn't expect them to actually defeat Katsina United yesterday. They actually defeated them to secure that third victory in the MPFL
of 23 games.
Out of 23 games.
They've drawn. They lost 13 and they drew 7.
You can imagine. For me, I feel is that the way the players and the coaching crew were treated, that is why they are having this poor run, because we know that news came out that they have not been paid. Players will be given 1.5 before a match for them to go and play. I wonder what 1,500 naira would do for a player who wants to go and play a certain club like Yimba or a certain club like Plateau United. It shows that you are not going to.
The players are at least better paid than
of course.
It's painful.
As it is now, the LMC need to actually do some work
at least
behind the scene and ensure that the players...
somebody that plays there. In fact, the captain is thinking of how he wants to leave the club at all costs. He's already fed up. That is why we are saying government should hands off sports. They should be driven by the private sector. The government should just remove their hands from sporting activities in the country. Away from that one, we'll go to our next story where we are going to athletics, where Lagos will host the African Athletics Championship after Algeria pulled out due to the fact that COVID-19. Algeria was supposed to host the championship, but now Nigeria will host the championship after 32 years. The last time Nigeria hosted this competition was 32 years ago.
32 years?
Yes, the last time. African Championship was Yes, African Athletics was 32 years ago.
The one that we hosted in Asaba 2018, that was what?
That was not African Athletics.
That was not African Athletics?
No, that was not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but this particular one that Lagos hosting was held 32 years ago.
32 years
that
ago.
Nigeria be hosting 32 years ago. So, and the Lagos fans, of course, they are starting that they are seeing, they're having
athletes are going to come
again
back
at the Testing Balogun Stadium, which has one of the finest tracks we have in Nigeria.
Of course, I feel for me, it should just be an avenue for us to change the tartan tracks in the Abuja National Stadium. For me, Abuja should have hosted.
It's still under construction.
It's still under construction.
Let's wait.
Let's give them a benefit of that.
Let's
But no
wait
doubt
for them to
about it. The competition will start in June, and sometimes June, just some few weeks to the Olympics, just to ensure that our own relay team get enough points for them to qualify to the Olympics. Still talking about the athletics. At ongoing right about now in Kaduna is the Nigerian Athletics Federation National Trials, which the championship will select players, athletes that will represent Nigeria at the African Region 2 Championship, and also the CCA Championship that will be hosted in Lagos. About 250 athletes are currently, burning the track in ABU Azaria.
So yeah, but then, like, we all know what is going on within the AFN Federation, AFN right now. Now, this particular trial is being conducted by
the Ibrahim
Gusso-led faction. And the other faction, they also have their own.
I think that they did their own early this week. Yes, in Lagos, in conjunction with.
So now the question is now that. Which athlete from each camp now is going to be on the plane to Tokyo?
At this point,
that's the question.
For you to qualify for Tokyo,
you have to rack up points.
Yes, and some athletes have getting.
And we know where the government stands.
Of course, no doubt about it. Now, there's going to be an election on 14th of June, of course, and that election will come before the CAA African Championship that will be hosted in Lagos. So anybody that gets to win that particular election definitely should be in charge
of the CAA and every
other competition after. So at this point in time, I think where we are getting it a little bit difficult is the relay team, because if Nigeria qualify for the Olympics for the relay team, it's not going to be so athletes. It will be Team Nigeria. So it will just be Nigeria that will be the one to select the athletes that will represent them at the relay. But other events,
the processes involved.
No, I'm just trying to let our viewers understand.
But the politics being played right now in the fact that we know the government is backing a particular faction against a faction.
And mind you,
now the players, the athletes that will play under the opposing faction stand the chance of not being able to go for the Olympics, based on the fact that they are not being backed by the government.
And mind you, we have similar scenario when we're about to go for the Poland relay teams.
Yes.
We didn't actually send our entries on time. It was
because of the clash.
Because of the clash. Because it was still the Gusso-led faction that actually finally sent entries. So you see, it's going to be very, very tricky. For me at this point in time, the sport minister should just get to settle this issue. Have a roundtable discussion with the two factions.
The matter is settled by dissolving the board and creating a committee.
Of course, the CAA came back and said you can't dissolve the board.
And they
reversed it. So at this point in time, the crisis is still there.
And he's still backing the Olamide George faction.
Of course.
So now we just have to I think the final solution to this issue right now is that June 14 election, which I know will be heavily backed by the government to ensure a particular set of people win. We know that one. We are going to see the hand, the legs, the eyes, the feet of the government.
Of course,
in the election.
It will be there. It will be there, no doubt about it. But it's politics.
I want a particular person to win. I will not sit on screen.
But you want a particular person to win.
I will not sit on air because.
Of course, no doubt about it.
So that certain things can be done right. In that just it. If only that we have the advantage of voting. I would have voted.
Of course.
But unluckily, we cannot vote. We can only monitor.
We are not delegates. Hopefully, we'll be there. The election will come up in Kebbi on the 14th of June, that's next month. And hopefully, we should be there to cover the proceedings in that particular one. So we return, we go back. We go to volleyball, where VC eager to gain a promotion to the Nigerian Premier League. We know that the National Volleyball Division 1 is currently going on in Kaduna, where teams are actually not battle to gain promotion to the Premier League, where the coach of JVC, which is talking about Monday, Dada, is coming out to say that yes, his team are eager to qualify for the Premier Division. We know that they've been playing very well in that particular league. Do you see them coming?
Yeah, based on the
League?
little I've seen about this JVC team, I think they have the chance of getting that promotion to the Premier League. You know, the dream of every club is to play in the Premier League, and I think the JVC is not out of place, not to dream for that position, but let them get their acts together first. Let them do what needs to be done, because as they are dreaming of going to Premier League, so other clubs also dream of going to Premier League as well too. You know, once you get the Premier League, that's the top league. And volleyball has been volleyball is one of the sports in Nigeria that has been so interesting. They have been on top of that game in recent days, in recent weeks and years. It's a sport that has been heavily funded. Not heavily funded, but has been heavily supported.
Of course.
Yeah,
not heavily funded by the government, but by a certain person who has the love and passion for the game.
So there has been so much into it that every now and then there's one competition or the other. And these are aimed to bring in new talents that will displace the old ones. I remember last year, this year, when they had their championship, we have some of the players who play for the Nigerian team and who are very, very old men. They say they'll not leave the stage.
Of course.
That let the young ones
let your fight
chase them out
of the
they want to imbibe in them that winning spirit that they will continue to play unless these young ones are able to chase them out. That was a challenge for the young ones.
No doubt about it. We have seen a lot of impressive, improvement when it comes to volleyball in Nigeria. Just recently, our own custom team, they went to play in the African, championship, and we qualified and we played in the semi-final of that particular competition for the first time in our history. It shows that the Volleyball Federation are actually not doing well, getting to bring up competition week in, week out. Just and last week, Presidential Beach Cup ended in Kaduna. Now they have started Division 1 volleyball. And after them,
we place so much emphasis and focus and attention on football. That is not even giving out, there's no regular competition like football. I mean, like volleyball and handball. Yeah, these two sports, handball and volleyball, the president in charge of this, rather than the chairman
of course, they are hosting competition
every now and then.
Just about 3 months ago, we hosted the under 18 and the under 19 African Championship in Abuja, and a whole lot is going on in the volleyball, federation. Kudos to that one man that is actually not doing all the work behind the scenes. I'm talking about Engineer Musa
Nimrod. Kida is basketball.
Yes, of course.
So let's leave volleyball and let's go to tennis that is ongoing right now in Abuja here, where the CBN Senior Tennis Open is ongoing at the Package B of the MKO Abiola National Stadium. And of course, we have been seeing top seed like Quadri and others, advancing to the next stage. And then we have seen some upsets from unseeded teenagers, proving that what against the established figures that you guys might be established, but no, we are upcoming and we can challenge you. And we have seen some unseeded. When we talk about unseeded, that means they don't have any rank at all.
Oh yes,
they don't have any rank in the league, sorry, in the championship, but they're able to defeat players who have ranks, who have maybe number 1, number 2, number 3, but they've done their best.
More just about 18 years old. She defeated Esther Olamide 6-1, 6-0 in that particular one. Also in that next game, Neye Yakubu also advanced to the next stage. She cruised 6-3, 7-4 in that particular one. Blessing Sama also defeated Blessing Omotayo 6-5, 6-4 in the women's single. While in the men's single, we have Endurance suffer a defeat by 6-4, 6-4 in the hands of Isaac. This particular Isaac is a good player. I've seen him, play at the court. Also, Suleiman Ibrahim cruised with 6-3, 6-4 while he rounded up Musa Mohammed, who defeated Dixon John 6-2, 6-2.
So we can urge our fans in Abuja to go to the stadium.
Tennis court,
Package B.
So tennis too has been doing a whole lot. Yes, they've been doing competition week in, week out.
And CBN has really, of course, they've really invested in this particular.
This is a 40 43 edition of the CBN
And
Tennis
they have been on
Championship.
it. So I will urge Nigerians to go to this package B and go and watch out. Saturday is the final. So you can be there on Saturday from I think from 8 a.m. or thereabouts till 4 p.m. Anyone want to watch, come and watch, and you come and see young stars in action. You know, you enjoy the game. So let's go beyond.
With your support, they can start playing in the French Open, in the US Open.
Yeah, you know, and we know how much
Italian Open.
We know how much is involved when it comes to French Open, when it comes to Italian Open, when it comes to so much money is pumped in. Just imagine bringing someone like Nadal into coming to play in the CBN Open.
Of course.
That is investment. That you are drawing in tourism. So a lot of things. Sport just has a lot of things to do to bring in, to increase the GDP of this country. Our leaders should just look into this matter and tap into the potentials of sports. It's a challenge to our leaders. Tap into the potentials and see that we use sport to end insecurity in Nigeria.
Of course, we can.
It is. Because by the time you take all these young
kids
ones
out of the street.
Okay, for example, I see volleyball and handball now who keep churning out competitions. And they
even
keep
tennis also keep discovering talent. People start developing the interests to play.
You not have time to carry
even beach volleyball also.
You not have time to carry dagger
or arms
and start
and again with a little bit of education by the side. We just have to encourage and all the issues of insecurity will go down drastically. Yes. We go to our next story where Edo 2020 National Sport Festival pregnant gold medalist.
This particular story, it created so much. It went viral.
The baby girl, yes, of course.
It went viral because people felt that how can a taekwondo athlete, be able pregnant taekwondo athlete, be able to play, Now let us inform people again that she was actually not in actual fights. She was not fighting.
Just a demonstration.
It was just simply demonstration of skills.
Of course.
Not that she was fighting with another person, leg to leg, hand to hand. She did not fight. She was just demonstrating the skills, all the way they do that thing there. But then she was 8 months pregnant.
Yes.
When she participated in the festival. And then every precaution, according to her husband, were taken, were followed. They met with the Lagos State, because she represented Lagos State in Lagos. Yeah. They met with Lagos State Sports Commission and everything. Every medical, and she was declared fit, physically fit to partake in the
National Sports Festival.
And she won gold.
Start talking about Aminat Idris, that is her name. She has been delivered by a baby girl.
And she's a serial medalist. She won silver in Abuja 2018. But now she now won. Then she was not pregnant, but now she pregnant to now she now won gold.
Maybe it's the baby that actually delivered the good for her.
So we're happy for her that she has she had delivered the baby girl, and then probably the girl is going to take after her. In taekwondo as well.
Of course, she should actually for me, I'll just put the child in line. You have to know how to be good in taekwondo. Still, just to remind our viewers, you can also contribute on the show this morning. The question, that's the big question we have for you today, is between Chelsea and Manchester City, who will win the UEFA
takes
Champions
the crown on Saturday by 8 p.m.
Right. So we go to our next story,
where of course, in the Belgium league, one particular player who has always been derided, so to say, in the Super Eagles, but then he won the Belgium Best Player, and of course he won the highest goal scorer. Talking about no one else but Paul Onachu. Let's clap for him.
In 38 games, he scored 33 goals.
A player that was almost not invited was relegated from the Super Eagles setup that was not good enough for the Super Eagles. But now he emerged. In fact, he scored. He was not scored that good for
winning goal in Benin.
In Benin.
Yes, in Benin Republic.
Yes, that qualified us for the
AFCON 2020.
And he came because he was on the reserve list.
On the reserve list.
And the person he replaced could not
course.
come because of COVID-19 restrictions in France.
And he came and he did the magic.
The rejected stone.
Even in Lagos, he still scored in Lagos against Lesotho. Our third goal in that particular match. So
the rejected stone became the cornerstone.
So there's a lot of potentials in Paul Onacho, no doubt about it. I feel that Coach Genetro should actually play him in the position. They should play a certain style that will fit Paul Onacho, and hopefully he will actually deliver goals for the country.
So big ups to Onacho for emerging the Pro League Player of the Year, as well as the highest goal scorer for the Belgium League. Now it's not in the transfer market.
Of course,
there's
clubs are getting to actually get his signature. Clubs in England and in Spain, in Italy are also looking forward to actually sign him.
Out of Nigerian league, they're not looking for him.
Do they have the money? They don't bath. Okay, next story. We're talking about UEFA licensed agents have actually stormed Kaduna to scout players in that particular state. We know that Kano State has a whole lot of potentials when it comes to football, which has actually produced a whole lot of stars for the national team. So they have stormed Kano to actually get to see what Kano players are made of, and hopefully they'll be able to get one or two players for them to sign for big clubs.
I think I should go to Kano. I'm going to participate in
the scouting program.
Yeah, in the scouting program.
Of course.
I'll just have to shave up my beards.
At the end of the day, you look under 17.
Under 17. If I shave my beard, I'll look very, very young.
You look very, very
extremely young.
Of course, no doubt about it. So players in
I'll be celebrating Happy Children's Day myself now.
So players in Kano should actually turn out for that particular one. They should actually get to show them skills, and hopefully the scouting teams are coming under the 60-goal soccer star project. So players should actually go in and key into that particular one. Jide, we'll go to our next story.
Now let's still talk about football as well too, but this time we are going to Italy, where Antonio Conte has left Inter Milan. He just won the league for them, a league that has eluded Inter Milan for the past 11 years. But he came on board in the second season and was able to deliver the trophy for them. But now he has left because of some issues with the club transfer issues.
I think that's a wrong move for Inter Milan to allow Antonio Conte to go, because at this point in time, you are not going to see a better coach.
There are no coaches. There are no coaches
in the market.
All the coaches are already booked.
Roma has gotten Jose Mourinho, so Jose Mourinho is out of it. Except if they want to go and pick a certain this guy that left Wolverhampton.
What's his name again?
Esperados.
Yes,
I've forgotten his name.
With his lovely beard.
Of course, if you just want to, but at this point in time,
the grade A coaches are out of market.
Of course. So I feel they should have.
But they can get Zidane. Zidane is leaving Madrid.
Zidane is leaving, but will Zidane want to go to Italy?
Do
they have the kind of money that Madrid has? No, I'm sure they don't have. They don't have such money.
Inter Milan board now, they're trying to cut down their expenses.
Of course.
They have expensive players, too much wage bill. But these same players gave you a trophy.
Of course, and it was by this coach who actually get to know.
And he said, don't sell these players. These are the players I want to work with.
For the 3 years that he worked with Inter Milan, he was given 12 million euros for getting to work for. Of course,
to build a team.
For his own personal money, he was given 12 million. That's his contract for the period of the 3 years. Now he has built a certain team who they're on fire at this point in time. They won their 19th Serie A title this season. I feel they should have just allow him to stay in that particular team, so that they can able to play the Champions League. We know that it was a disappointing performance for them in the Champions League last season. They crashed out in the group stage of the competition. But I feel the caliber of players that they have, they can still move up to the next big stage in the Champions League. They can actually get to the finals. Lukaku is firing with all cylinders. The likes of Sanchez, the likes of Young are coming into the party. Also Martinez also is a very, very good player.
This is a former Tottenham player.
Ericsson also in there in the mix. I feel that they should have actually not to allow Antonio Conte leave Inter Milan.
Anyway, it's good news. If he leaves, he's in market now. He might replace Zidane at Madrid.
Where's Zidane now go to?
Which is
of course, it's a good one. Real Madrid will just opened, just go and open their money bag and and roll him back to.
And Conte will leave Inter Milan at least £7 million richer because they are going to pay him off for his final year of his contract. It's
good money for him.
Mourinho, when Inter sacked Mourinho, they paid him £20 million.
Of course. Now it's going to Roma.
For being sacked, get out. You may take 20 billion.
You paid me for my inconvenience.
But our offices will sack us.
And
not to come out.
Let's not go there.
So it's not a time you're going to coaching. No. It's a time you're
going to coaching, right? Of course.
Go to can start from grade C, then grade B, CAF, UEFA, then get to the pro.
Like you said earlier, that you can still even play football. So why not go?
If I can't play football again, I can still do coaching. I can coach.
Of course, without about it. Yesterday was a day that all Nigerians were happy, as some were not happy, but majority of Nigeria were happy because of one man who got to win the Europa League title. That's talking about Samuel Chukwueze. Because we know that last week it was Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho, but this week it was dedicated for Samuel Chukwueze.
I wanted Villarreal to win. Not because I did not want Man U, but because there was a Nigerian in the team, which is Samuel Chukwueze. Though he didn't play in the final because of his injury.
He was injured against
but he was instrumental. You can see he's the only one that carried phone.
Of course, just to celebrate.
He's the only one that carried phone on your far right.
Yes, on your right.
The first person on your right. Yes, but he played a significant role,
of course,
for Villarreal to get. And if you look at it, Villarreal, when they got to quarterfinals, the teams to quarterfinals, Villarreal was the weakest team from the quarterfinal stage. But one man that has won the UEFA
back to back.
Talking about but your club messes record up. Arsenal.
Yes, of course, in the finals against Chelsea.
But then
narrowly lost that match.
He lost. Arsenal, like one of the people said here today, Arsenal has one course following them. When it comes to European football.
Maybe
Arsenal dented on Emery's record.
Yes.
But with Sevilla, he won it back to back 3 times in a row. Arsenal damaged that record. Now he has won again with Villarreal. And on fancied side, that nobody expected.
Of course.
We get to even the quarter-final stage, let alone get into the finals.
Yes.
But they got to the finals and they were able to pull, the penalty. It was a very, very tense
penalty yesterday. But
all the players scored.
Were actually, putting the ball in the same direction and all that. All the players scored. It was just left for David Gueye to just, score and we start the whole process again.
All over. I've never watched penalty shots be restarted all over again. So I was waiting for a restart.
Maybe they'll bring the coaching crew. They should come and.
So the players that played before they will restart all over again.
But Manchester United for me didn't see that coming yesterday. In the first half when Villarreal scored, I felt Villarreal were going to stay put because I know Villarreal is a team that will actually want to hold the ball from the beginning of the match to the end of the game, but they actually let that guard down when a certain Cavani pulled out the equalizer yesterday. But it was a mouth-watering cash. But just that Manchester United could not hold that one in that particular one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not won the title for Manchester United, and Villarreal, this is their first major title in the history of the club. It shows that
for 4 years now, Man U now they've not won any trophy for the last 4 years. This the last time they won a trophy was under a certain Jose Mourinho.
Yes,
when they had the League
Cup,
the Europa Cup and the League Cup in 2016, 2017 thereabout. But then since then they've not won a single trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
They've not won anything.
Before the game ended yesterday, I checked Twitter. Ole out.
But in your own opinion, do you think Manchester United should sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
He has not delivered, but they should still leave him. At least give him an extra 2 more years to stay on the hot seats. You know, Manchester United is his biggest club ever. He's a rookie coach.
Yes, of course.
So he's learning the ropes. Of course, he coached in a Danish club, but then Man United is the biggest club for him so far. So he's learning the ropes of coaching, and probably he was going to get. And we saw
what is that particular problem? What is that particular problem in Manchester United? Is it that they don't have the quality of players?
They do. But I think one thing that's missing that team is just the winning mentality. I don't think they have the complete. I don't think they have the mentality.
Because for me, they have all the players in the world that
they don't have that winning mentality.
Actually, get to win title with this set of players. Certain Pogba is there.
I don't know. I don't like
Rashford is there also.
Rashford was out of sorts.
Cavani also now is fine with all cylinders and all that.
Was out of sorts
McTominay also is still sitting down in the middle of the park, getting to ensure that no ball actually get to past him. But I feel.
But there's still something that they lack in that team, which is. They don't have a real leader
in that particular team.
In that team,
of course,
there's no leader.
There's no leader. Bruno just came to Man U just like
this is his first full season.
His first full season. Yes,
he came last season, half season,
and at the end of the day, you're not giving him the captain band.
So there's no real leader. The Man U that we know in the past, whereby post goals,
of course,
we demand things to be done in the middle. Whereas
certain Vidic with detectives of the back. Yes, Van der Sar will actually coordinate all the players. Right from the
we saw the aggressiveness in these players. Or is it Roy Keane? Who cannot mess with it.
Or is it Rooney who will shut you down?
So there's no real leader in that team. Pogba is no leader.
No leader, of course.
He's not.
He's just a stylish player. Just
which I don't like him at all. Even when Zidane when there were rumors that Zidane was bring to Madrid, I was praying that let this deal fail because this guy is not. I just don't like the. He's
like Neymar.
Neymar is better, but Neymar show off and it clicks. Pogba tried to show off, but it doesn't click to me. I don't know. It's just. But let's not go into Pogba's case. But the thing is that Man U lack a real leader.
Do you think he's done and dusted for David Gea?
He has not saved any penalty kick in the last 5 years. He is not good in penalties. So for him to have considered all the 5, and when it's not his own turn.
All the 10.
Okay, sorry, all the 10. When it's not his own turn to score, to play, he missed.
Someone said he had to draw soup yesterday. That was what affected me. It's just so sad.
I know on Twitter is very funny, and I saw some video. I wish you play some of those videos. That the videos of them playing Titanic song, at the background, or another one say the police are walking away. They're walking from evil forest, and they're playing some music at the background. Twitter just came with so many videos, to torment the lives of
one of
Man U fans.
One of the Man U fans that we have in the studio is not around. They're talking about Arebe. I wanted just to see his face. That actually we bet about it. That I told him that Manchester United was not going to win, but he said no. They were going to win.
No, it's just a failure for them.
Manchester United fans, you have next season to
fight for.
They came second
in the Europa League, and they came second in the Premiership. So
next season is there for you, to fight for the Premier League title and also for a place in the Champions League. So we'll move away from the Europa. Let's go to where the big boys are. That's talking about the Champions League, where you can also send in your comments between the Manchester City and Chelsea, who will win the UEFA Champions League. Now the UEFA Champions League will happen on Saturday, 29th of May. Will be the final day. Will it be the day that Chelsea will smile, or will it be the day that they will cry?
When I was coming up this morning, I met one of the priests and everything.
Yes, he's a Chelsea fan.
He's Chelsea fan. He said we must talk about
Even
this.
me, I saw him. I saw him when I was coming.
He said we must talk about it and everything. I told him that I don't want Chelsea to win. He asked me why. I said if Chelsea wins, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be noise.
Of course.
There's going to be commotion.
Too much noise.
They will not allow us to sleep.
Too much
for
noise.
That fact, not because I'm on set, I do not want Chelsea to win this Premiership. This Champions League. They've won it. Let Man City, let Guardiola's efforts finally pay off after 3 years. Be able to win the. Why would Thomas Tuchel just come from nowhere and win the league?
mind you, he actually got to the finals last season with PSG,
and he lost. Why would he come half season and
and you want to win, you want to take everything.
Compared to somebody that's been building his team from the onset. No. That would be unjust to Guardiola. So I prefer to have Guardiola, Man City, who have never reached the Champions League ever in their history. Champions League final. I want them to be able to carry the cup against Chelsea, who are going into the Champions League for the third. This will be their third final. Of course, they lost against John Terry. The first one they lost against Manchester United. John Terry slipped, and of course, the second one was when Drogba, came on and scored that winning penalty against Bayern Munich in Bayern Munich Stadium. So this time around, I really want to have a Man City win. Then of course, Kante is back for Chelsea. Is fully fit, and of course Mendy, who happened to have some. There was a little injury out over the last game for Chelsea, the last game of the season, where he hit his ribs against the bar. But he has resumed training. Because now there are fears that if Kepa that name is too long for him to pronounce. If Kepa, who is quite short, is at the goal post, there are fears and concerns that Chelsea will lose the game. So now there are, the hopes have been raised a little bit now with Mendy resuming training. So let me pick from your brain now.
Of course.
Between you now, between Chelsea and Man City, who do you prefer to win the league?
Of course, no doubt about it. We know that City has lost against Chelsea in the last about 6 weeks. They have lost 2 matches. Chelsea has been the one ahead in that particular one. Even in the Premier League, Chelsea actually won at their last meeting against a certain Manchester City. But we know it was a different ball game. In the second leg of the Premier League, most of the starting level of Man City didn't actually play that particular one. But we know that Man City anytime. They are a very, very good team. They can able to upset any team any day, anytime. But we know with the level of performance for Chelsea in the last few weeks, they lost some games. They lost the FA Cup final to Leicester City. So they have to bring all their arsenal against Manchester City for them to be able to redeem themselves. We know it's not going to be easy for Chelsea, but I know that a certain Manchester City will want to actually finish the season well. They have won
Premiership.
The Premiership, they have won the League Cup. Now they are looking forward to actually win the Championship. We know the likes of Aguero will be quitting Manchester City, so it to be a perfect, befitting farewell for him if they can able to win the Champions League. We know it's not going to be easy for both sides, but it's a final. Anything can happen. The pendulum can actually swing to any side. But at this point, when we are talking about
not the blue side of London,
Man City has the upper hand. But we know that Chelsea are a youthful team, no doubt about it. They're a youthful team due to the fact that they have young players, looking at the likes of J.C. Mount, James in that particular one. Even in the midfield, they have a certain Conte who is not that well experienced in the Champions League. We know
but he has 3 longs.
Yes, but he has 3 longs. But he had the likes of Thiago Silva, who is well experienced, Alcantara, who is well experienced also in that particular one, will actually want to give all their best. Rudiger has been a big force when it comes to Chelsea, has been a rock-solid defender for Chelsea this season, no doubt about it. We expect him to come to the party in that particular one. But mind you, a certain Diaz, in the other hand, he has been playing very well. He was voted as the best player when it comes to the Sports Writers Association in England. He was voted as the best player in the league because we know that when he came in Manchester City, he made a whole lot of impact. He gave Manchester City that confidence due to the fact that we know that when this guy had an injury, John Stones, this guy that left their camp, this Argentine player, I've forgotten his name right now, that left their camp, Pep Guardiola went and brought him, and there was stability in the Manchester City defense. So I feel there's a whole lot of things to be played. But if you want to match player for player, looking at the goalkeeper, who will you pick? Looking at Edinson and Mendy, who will you pick to be your starting 11, Julian? Edison. Looking at the right back, a certain Walker and a certain James?
Walker.
Looking at the left back, there's a certain Mendy and there's a certain Alonso, or there's a certain Chimwe. Who will you pick?
Alonso.
Okay. Looking at the defense now, Diaz, Rudiger.
Diaz.
John Stone.
Silva.
Who will you
Silva.
pick? Okay. Midfield. Who is there in the mix?
Fernando or Kante. That's a very tough one.
Experience you actually can't, but you have to, at this point in the game you have to do all the work. The work rate has to come into.
I know that Fernando is also very, very aggressive. He has 2.5 longs.
Of course.
Even though he's an old man,
36 years old
man, but he's still very very aggressive. So I think I will go for Fernando in that pack to be able to shield away Kante. Kante has that. His legs are just too. Yeah, that's
Of course,
but
legs.
I believe Fernandinho will be able to curtail.
Kevin De Bruyne, Jose Mount.
Of course, Kevin De Bruyne.
Gandogan and the certain Jorginho.
Ike Gandogan, not
Looking at the right hand side, we're expected to see Bernardo Silva against a certain. Will it be Timo Werner?
I'll go for Bernardo Silva.
On the right side, Ryan Mahrez.
Of course.
Ziyech.
Of course. Ziyech is not. He's still a young guy from Ajax who is still compared to Reyes, who is a Syria winner as well too. So I'll go for Mahrez. Therefore, the striker Aguero.
So looking at from the starting 11, GD has picked about 8 players
for Man
City, and he has picked about 3 or 4 players for Chelsea. But we know it's going to be a cracker match watching a counter. Chelsea fans have the bragging rights because from their last 2 outings, they have had the upper hand against Manchester City. But if Manchester City will be coming as an underdog, knowing fully well that they can actually create a whole lot of magic. If that day Kevin De Bruyne clicks, getting all those passes,
it's all over for Chelsea.
In between the Chelsea defense, then it will be all over for Chelsea. And we know Chelsea, in their recent form, in their last 3 matches, they have not been clinical in the front of goal. Timo Werner has been, missing huge chances.
And he missed chances.
We saw that against Aston Villa, their last performance.
And you missed chances.
Get to miss a whole lot of chances.
You miss chances.
And
I'm trying to protect Nigerians though.
Because in the Champions League final,
these Okada boys.
You have to make half chance. You have to make use of it, even though it's a half chance. So at this point in time, they should go and be praying. They should take 3 days fasting and prayer.
Keke drivers, Okada drivers, they were so reckless that day.
No doubt about it.
Everywhere in Nigeria.
So at this point in time, you have to go. But my own prediction should be Manchester City to actually win the Champions League. Maybe 3-1 or 2-0.
I don't want to get the scoreline, but Man City should win. So we will see the match on Saturday,
of course,
by God's grace, and we will see how that pans out for the two.
All the reaction in
for the two English teams. So, viewers, this is where we draw the curtains for today's program, and we hope you have enjoyed every bit of the show. I remain my humble self, Olushola Lujide. I am Olawale Ayeniti. We'll meet you same time, same station next week. Have a blessed weekend. Bye bye for now. God bless you. Bye.